Humanity first noticed the empire when every satellite went blind at once, not destroyed, not hacked, simply muted, as if the sky itself had decided to hold its breath. At first, governments blamed solar flares, then hackers, then each other because that was tradition. Then the message arrived, not in one language, but in all of them, perfectly translated, perfectly calm, and deeply unimpressed. We are the sovereign galactic empire. You have been observed, evaluated, and categorized as a pre-expansion civilization. Prepare for compliance. Across Earth, people stared at screens, waiting for panic, waiting for screams, waiting for chaos. Instead, someone in a small apartment in Brazil commented, "So basically space landlords, cool." Within minutes, memes exploded across the internet. Pictures of armored aliens with captions like, "When the space tax man shows up early." News anchors struggled to keep serious faces, while social media laughed so hard it crashed multiple platforms. Military leaders prepared emergency meetings, scientists prepared emergency models, and teenagers prepared reaction videos. The Empire followed up with a massive projection in the sky, a fleet of ships so large they turned night into metal, blocking stars with cold geometric precision. Their commander appeared, tall, silver-skinned, wearing armor that looked older than human civilization. He spoke with authority and certainty. "Your species will submit peacefully. Resistance is statistically inefficient." A child in New York asked on a live stream, "Bro, did he just say statistically inefficient?" Another message trended within minutes, "Humans when aliens try to invade," with a clip of someone sipping tea. The Empire had conquered hundreds of worlds, broken thousands of species, and never once encountered a planet that responded to first contact with sarcasm. They interpreted the laughter as shock, as denial, as emotional breakdown. They were wrong. Humanity was not in shock. Humanity was warming up. The Empire attempted to establish order by issuing a list of rules, curfews, communication limits, and cultural compliance protocols. Humans read them, translated them, and immediately turned them into jokes. Rule 47, no unauthorized broadcasts, became a trending challenge where people streamed themselves pretending to interview invisible aliens. Rule 12, no mockery of imperial authority, became a meme template used on millions of images. The Empire tried to block human networks, but discovered that humanity had designed the internet to survive bad decisions and worse leadership. Servers rerouted, backups activated, and suddenly the Empire found itself unable to silence a species that had spent decades arguing online. Imperial analysts reported confusion. Human morale appears to increase under threat. Subject behavior includes humor, parody, and deliberate provocation. The Emperor himself demanded an explanation. "Why do they laugh?" he asked. An advisor answered, "They appear to cope through humor. They also appear to weaponize it." Meanwhile, human gamers were modding Imperial ships into flight simulators. Human musicians released diss tracks aimed at alien commanders. Human comedians performed live sets roasting the Empire in real time. One viral clip showed a stand-up comic saying, "So these guys crossed galaxies and still don't know how to deal with customer service complaints." Imperial Command attempted psychological pressure, broadcasting images of destroyed worlds. Humans responded by turning those broadcasts into reaction videos with sad music and exaggerated crying faces. The Empire had planned for fear, submission, and desperation. They had not planned for roast culture. The Empire deployed cultural domination specialists, experts trained to erase identity and replace it with imperial loyalty. They studied human history, music, movies, and internet trends. They came back traumatized. One report simply read, "They willingly watch shows where people argue about cake." Another said, "Their music includes aggressive rhythms and lyrics about personal struggle and wealth, morale impact unclear. The Empire tried to introduce imperial entertainment, slow, formal, deeply serious operas about honor and conquest. Humans remixed them into electronic dance tracks within hours. A viral trend featured people dancing to imperial war chants in grocery stores. Imperial morale began to drop. Soldiers reported hearing their own anthem used as background music in prank videos. One imperial officer was recorded asking, "Why is my face on a dancing human child?" Humanity had discovered something powerful. The Empire feared weapons, fleets, and armies. They did not know how to fight being laughed at. The Empire finally attempted a demonstration of force, a controlled strike on an uninhabited asteroid. They announced it with dramatic flair, expecting fear and silence. Humans Live streamed it with commentary. "Look at that explosion, rate it out of 10, one streamer said. Another replied, "Solid 7, but the lighting was off." Instead of terror, humans treated it like a movie trailer. Reaction channels broke down the visuals. Special effects experts critiqued the energy output. Imperial Command realized something terrifying. Humanity was not afraid of destruction. They were familiar with it. They had lived under it, survived it, and joked about it to stay sane. Fear did not control humans. Stories did. The Emperor finally addressed humanity directly, abandoning threats and demands. "Why do you laugh?" he asked. A human representative answered, "Because if we stop laughing, we start breaking, and when we break, we don't stop." The Empire reviewed human history, wars, disasters, recoveries, and endless rebuilding. They saw a species that refused to be crushed emotionally. A species that turned pain into jokes, fear into memes, and despair into dark humor. The Emperor made a decision no emperor had made before. He halted the invasion, not out of mercy, but out of respect. Humanity had not defeated the Empire with weapons. They defeated it with laughter. And across the galaxy, a new rule was added to imperial doctrine. Never invade a species that laughs while looking at the sky.